Hi, this is Trish Williams with Trish Williams Team, Keller Williams Realty here in Las Vegas. And I have Randy Garcia with me today from Home Networks Electric and Solar. And we're going to be talking about solar, how it affects real estate homeowners, why you would consider solar, the benefits of solar, different tax incentives that there are for there, and just kind of get some details on what's going on with this, because it's definitely tomorrow. Tomorrow is we're in that point where solar is more beneficial than I guess it's always been beneficial, but people are actually starting to see the benefits of it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Randy, tell me about your company. Where are you from? How'd you get started? You're here in Vegas, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about what you do, where you're from, what you offer.
Well, Trish, thank you for bringing us here, and definitely honored to be a part of the Keller Williams team.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Home Networks actually came from California.
Okay.
We started up the company in 1999,
All right.
and basically we were serving smart homes
Mm-hmm.
back then. And it grew to an electrical company, and shortly after, energy efficiency.
Right.
So we started doing a lot of retrofits for energy usage, such as the electricity for the lighting and so forth. So we started out reducing people's usage. And then a buddy of mine came to me and said, well, we should start doing solar.
Right.
So we got into that market, and one of the companies that took us on was SunPower, which is one of the best solar panels in the world right now. The top efficiency rated, one of the best built panels that will last almost 50 years.
Wow. And I have SunPower, so I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. 25-year warranty, bumper to bumper. And also we offer Tesla, which is the energy storage battery backup system.
Okay.
So with that combination between SunPower, photovoltaics, solar system, and the battery system from Tesla, your house is basically self-sufficient and self-powered. And staying off the grid is the end key,
right.
to saving money.
So let's talk about that. This Tesla Powerwall, right? Is that the right term for it? Powerwall. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this Tesla Powerwall is not just to plug your car into.
No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have solar on your home, your solar is producing energy, and of course, it's from the sun. Your solar produces energy while there's sun out, and the sun goes down and then it stops producing energy.
Mm-hmm.
If you have this Powerwall, it can provide energy after the sun goes down?
Correct.
Okay.
So how Powerwall works is you can either use it on a time-based program, or you can use it on after the sun goes down, that the Powerwall picks up and starts producing the energy that was stored from the sun or from the solar system.
Okay.
During the nighttime. Because
right.
Of course, once the photovoltaic and the sun goes down, you're no longer producing. So you need
right.
this backup source. So it's almost like a constant cycle from production to storage to usage, and repeating it day in, day out.
Right. And let me tell you one thing, just because in the last year I purchased a home that had solar, it had solar that was purchased on it. And owning your own energy is amazing. It saves you a ton of money, but it's just there's being able to just know that you're being self-sufficient. Your home is producing this energy. You're saving money, and it's my power bills right now. My highest bill that I've had in the last year was $42. So
yeah,
and I run everything.
Right.
The AC's running. We have a pool. Like there's definitely, we use a lot of energy in the house, and my previous home, my power bills were $400 to $600 in the summertime.
Oh yeah.
So it is amazing the savings now that I've lived like this. I could never go back to not having solar.
No,
I couldn't imagine it.
a lot of people are think that it's smoke and mirrors.
It's not.
And when you actually do the math, there's a return on investment. And typically it's around 10 years. So 10 years, as we know, will go by right away. Anything after that, money saved is money earned.
Right.
So if you understand the concept of economics and that return on the investment, why wouldn't you go solar? It's just, but just not just going solar. A lot of these companies, they want to just put junk on your roof. SunPower is actually a quality panel, right, with a quality warranty that will be there long term. Its dealer network and the people that support it are hand chosen, to be the top installers as well as represent the product correctly.
And I know personally when I moved into the house, I didn't have to be an expert on solar or do anything. It just it just works. It's just whatever it does, it just does it.
You don't need to do anything.
You don't need to do anything.
Right.
It just takes care of itself.
You just need to save money.
Yes, which is amazing because I don't want to, I didn't want to go through a long setup process. I thought that it would be like some kind of insane process with the power company getting it all together, but there was nothing. I mean, maybe because it was already set up first, but it was very. It's just plug and play. It just works. Self-sufficient. It works. Now, one thing that about the power walls that you mentioned, one thing that I find interesting, and tell me if this is correct the way that I'm seeing it, is that if there was a power outage, for instance, all of Las Vegas power went down or something, happened, emergency. I mean, those are situations that people always think of. People buy generators for backup, for, protection in those cases. If you have a power wall, would that be able to get you through the night, get you through a couple days? Does it work that way?
Well, if you have more than one power wall, then because the way it's set up, if you have one, it's critical loads, such as your refrigerator, your entertainment center, your communication devices, things that need power, medical, devices is, where, some people, they can't have their certain respiratory systems, medical devices shut down.
Right.
So in those cases, absolutely, there's a need for it.
Okay.
Now, however, if you get two power walls and above, then it can power your whole home backup versus critical loads, which is one power wall. But typically, it's a power wall setup or a solar system setup, then a power wall, and most people, of course, use it in conjunction with each other, and you get a 30% tax credit on both if it's combined.
Okay, and I also, now that you brought up tax credits, so how can you, solar can be costly, coming up, when you first purchase it, of course, definitely there's an investment there, but how does that work with the tax benefits? There are credits that you get or benefits that you get. There's definitely incentives to owning versus leasing, correct?
Oh, correct. So leasing, of course, is a way to get into a system that if you don't have the tax appetite, some people are retired, some people, just don't have the tax write-offs. So it really doesn't benefit them to own the system.
Right.
However, if you are working, you do have the tax appetite in order to take advantage of the 30% federal tax credit. It's a great thing to use because right off the bat, you are taking 30% of that invoice or that contract and you're handing it to your CPA. They know exactly what to do and how to file it. It reduces your overall net cost. So
well, definitely you can take 30% off. That's huge.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's
so
huge.
The way that is designed, the financials actually make a lot of sense right now. In a few years, they are going to be taken away. Basically, it's going to go down next year to, I believe, 26%, then 22%, and then it drops down. So
It's slowly
gradually
gonna
it's
go away because it's an
correct.
incentive to incentivize people to do
Mhm.
solar. But solar is becoming very common. I'm seeing even in the real estate industry, we're seeing more and more houses that have solar on them, whether leased or owned. There's different types out there. So many different companies now too popping up
Mhm.
that do the different types of solar, and we're running into it a lot more often. One question that I think that I wanted to ask you, as far as Home Networks, Electric and Solar, your company, do you do solar inspections? Like if a buyer was purchasing a home, had solar on it, but knows nothing about it, and the owner for whatever reason doesn't know anything about it. Every now and then we do run into those. Sometimes the owners pass away or
Mhm.
something's happened. Nobody has any details. Is there something out there, or is that something that maybe you do that can tell the new homeowner if this system's operating, if it's up to date, if it needs to be
Mhm.
upgraded, or if there's just anything about that system?
Absolutely,
Really?
absolutely,
Okay.
yes. A lot of the times, like you said, is the new homeowner knows nothing about the system, whether it's working, whether the monitoring system has been reconfigured because they took away their router, and sometimes
And they took the thing with them. That my guy did that. The one that sold me my house, and I
right,
didn't. It was 9 months into living in the home, and I
and the
didn't
system's not
know.
operating. Yeah,
Well, no, it operated. The system operated.
hmm
It wasn't monitoring. So
monitoring, correct.
I called the company
Hmm.
SunPower, and I asked them a question, and they said, "Well, your monitoring's not plugged in." And I was like, "Well, what does that mean? I don't
Hmm.
know. It
Right,
just worked. I didn't know that I was supposed to do anything."
right, right.
What happened was the previous owner took the little plug-in, that
Yeah,
plugs to
the
the
communication
internet, the
device.
communication device.
Hmm.
He didn't know. He just packed up all his stuff and took it,
Right.
and he took that device with him. And lucky for me, I called him, 9 months
Hmm.
after purchasing the house, and said, "Hey, do you happen to have this little white box?" And he was like, "Yeah, I do. I didn't know what it was for." So he didn't throw it away. Good,
Hmm.
good deal on my part. But he sent it back to me. I got plugged in, monitored, everything's up to date. But I know that happened to me, so it can happen to anybody.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
All the time. I mean, it's like when you pack up, you take all your equipment with you. And
right.
sometimes that little white box gets packed up, or the router assignments change. So you're offline and it
Yeah,
needs to be reconfigured again.
right.
Or maybe the system is so old that it started, either the inverter is not working or
Right.
something is not configured.
Right.
Right. So
So
definitely we do the inspections
you
and
do the inspections, that's a service. So
absolutely.
if we have clients, on Trish Williams' team or any other realtors that are out there listening, if you have clients purchasing a home with solar that's owned and not leased, you may want to contact Randy to see what he can do as far as inspections and stuff like that, and hire him to come out and take a look at the system, because that's something that your buyers, especially going forward and purchasing a home with solar, you definitely want to make sure it's operating.
Yes, I don't know about the statistics, but we hear that if there were two houses side by side, one had solar and one didn't, typically the one with solar would be the choice, the preferred choice
Oh
for the
yeah,
customer. Right?
Most definitely. And right now, as far as like what appraisers are giving for solar, it's not much, but it's
Hmm.
still, solar is so new where everybody's trying to catch
Hmm.
up to it. So they haven't really have it got it figured out yet. So solar is more desirable. It is a little bit higher in price because there's a little more value added to the panels if they're owned. If they're leased, an appraiser will give
Hmm.
zero value on leased panels, but there's a little more value that they'll give on owned solar.
Correct.
But definitely more, it's more desirable to the buyer because you have potentially a lot of savings. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
One other thing that I forgot to mention is there's been a um, progressive movement on going EV, electric vehicle.
Oh yeah.
And with electric vehicles, of course, you're saving on gas. But the other side of that is that you're charging at home, so your usage goes up. So
Right.
you potentially want to put together a solar system that can offset not only your existing usage, but your predicted usage for your EV charging.
For your vehicle, well, yeah, that
Correct.
makes perfect sense
Like a
because you're
gas station
saving
on the
on
roof.
gas.
Mhm.
But what's the use of saving on gas if you're raising your energy cost? You know, I mean, there's definitely
Correct.
so having the solar like even that out would definitely make perfect sense. So if you're going electric vehicle, you should most definitely be going solar as well.
And we do Teslas. We're a certified installer for Tesla.
Okay.
Powerwalls. Not only that, but we do the charging station installations too as well.
Oh,
for electric
perfect.
vehicles.
Perfect. Yeah, that's amazing. Good. Okay. So how do people contact you? If they want to reach out to you, they want to get some more information, they want a consultation, they want to purchase solar, they may want to lease it, and you can help them even if they want to lease it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If they'd like to lease it, we have leasing programs available directly through SunPower.
Okay.
There's other programs for finance.
Okay. So you have financing options on the purchase?
Yes, there's financing options. So if they'd like to get a hold of us, it's pretty easy. It's Home NES Network Electric Solar.com, www.homenes.com.
Okay.
And we're actually located in both California and Nevada. Our Nevada phone number is 702-333-2412. Randy Garcia. My email address is rgarcia@homenes.com.
Okay, perfect. And I will have that information up on the notes for the show. So we'll definitely, if you didn't hear it or write it down while he was talking, just go into the detailed description and we'll have all the information there. And of course, I'm Trish Williams team, Keller Williams Realty. And if you want to call me to discuss any of these things, discuss solar options, or even just look for homes, give me a call, 702-308-2878. And Randy, thank you so much for coming out and giving me so much information. And if I'm correct, we're going to be doing a walkthrough of a Tesla.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Come on and take a look at the Tesla Model X vehicle.
Okay.
This is like the future right now.
All right. So we're going to take a look at that, and I will have that video up for you as well. Thank you so much, Randy, for coming. And you all have a wonderful day and keep tuning in on Keeping It Real with Trish Williams.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again with Trish Williams' team, and I got Randy here with Home Networks Electric and Solar, and we just did a video for the Keeping It Real show, and Randy's going to do, we're outside now, on site. Randy's going to do something a little bit different. He's going to show us about this Model X electric vehicle, the Tesla, and just tell us a little bit about it, just in case you were been considering this or just want some more information. He's going to show us around it. So
Yeah,
Randy,
absolutely.
let's see what we got here.
Well, this is a Tesla Model X.
Okay.
Yeah, they have the Model S and the Model 3. Model 3 is behind you.
Oh.
That one.
All right.
Basically, it's zero emissions.
Okay.
So this is the wave that people are actually going towards, getting off the traditional fossil fuels, and instead of filling up at the pump, right, where they could just fill up on electric vehicles or electricity into the EVs,
Right.
and charge at home, or there's charging stations all around, such as at the malls or any kind of destination charging location.
So these take no gas.
Zero gas.
Zero gas. Okay.
Zero gas. So
Now,
you got to get used to that.
That's kind of awesome, though. That, I mean, very, very awesome. That definitely saves you a lot of money on gas. Now, zero emissions, clean air. Now, there's also some benefits of owning an electric vehicle. So,
Oh, yeah,
what are
absolutely.
those
One
benefits?
of the advantage in is carpooling.
Okay.
So, of course, we know that there's two, and sometimes the traffic, gets kind of crazy. So, one of the advantages that you can ride solo in a carpool lane with a zero emissions vehicle.
Wow.
So that's a clean air carpool lane.
Okay.
Pass, and you put the.
So
sticker
you
on
don't
the
have to have a
vehicle.
passenger?
You don't have to have a passenger.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
when traffic is heavy and you're trying to get to work and you just really want to jump in that carpool lane, you can do that?
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And
Absolutely.
what about technology? Well, first off, before I get into technology, horsepower. I know a lot of people, from what I've heard, or it may be a misconception, but I've heard that like with electronic vehicles, you don't get as much horsepower. They don't have as much power or muscle, but I think the Tesla stepped that up, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So does it have power? Absolutely. It gets. This one is only the 75 series, which it does 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds.
Wow.
Basically,
Okay.
I could smoke a 5.0 Mustang right off the gate, which
All
is
right.
no
All
problem.
right. So we're not looking at those little smart
Oh, no.
cars that just go, you know.
Oh no, this
So-
this car gets up and goes.
All right. That's
So,
awesome.
So one of the things is definitely it has a navigation device or a screen in there. If you want to step around the other
Yeah,
side, I could show you.
absolutely. Let's take a look inside.
Go on the other side.
Okay. Oh. Wow.
There.
Okay. All right. So,
So
wow, that's like a TV.
yeah. So basically, the screen is on your dash as well as in the middle of the screen too as well.
Wow.
It's fully voice automated. I mean, usually sometimes when you give navigation instructions to the traditional nav, right? Like for example, you'll say, take me or navigate me to Benihana's. And with the traditional one, it will sometimes it'll go navigate to 24-hour fitness. No, it's not.
Yeah, it doesn't understand what you're saying. So this one
Right.
is definitely, the technology is cutting edge.
Oh, cutting edge.
Right.
You know, like pick a spot. What's one of your favorite spots around here?
Navigate me to Yasau Grill.
Yasau Grill. Okay. Navigate to Yasau Grill.
I had to pick a difficult name, so let me get something a little more. Navigate me to Claim Jumper.
Navigate to Claim Jumpers. So
Okay.
it'll pick it in the areas. All these represent charging stations in this area, all in red.
Oh, so if
So-
you're trying to find a gas station, or not a gas station, a charging station,
It will be around.
it's already there. Awesome.
Absolutely. It will actually plan your route. Let's say if you were driving from here to California, it will plan your route in terms of where the charging stations will be and how long.
Okay.
And all on the navigation map.
And I love how it shows the whole city. That's just like a bird's eye view of everything.
Yeah. Well, so once you pick the closest one of your
Okay.
claim jumpers, it just basically sets up just like that.
Okay.
So
Pretty awesome.
yeah, it has like a lot of different features as far as the technology that's built in there. One of the things is there's a lot of headroom in here.
Nice
so-
sunroof.
Yeah,
I see you have the
I have a little
screen.
cover on it,
Yeah.
just because it gives a little bit too much sun over here in sunny
Most
Las Vegas,
definitely.
right?
And it has it in the back too. That's pretty awesome. I love the design. You know, it has a real sleek design. That's it's a pretty cool car. Backup cameras, all that stuff right
Backup
here.
cameras, everything.
Oh.
The door's open, so check out this. If you put the camera on the back, real
Okay.
quick. So basically, the doors open.
Oh,
They
sweet.
butterfly open. Yeah.
Sweet. Now, my children are grown now, but I remember when they were little and, you know, dealing with the car seat or getting the kids in and out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
This would be so convenient.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Well,
Besides just looking cool, it would definitely help for that.
Well,
So-
it added the technology of being a gentleman. Now you can close and open the door at a fingertip.
That's pretty awesome. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you for showing us the vehicle, your car here, Randy, and I appreciate it. And thanks again for coming on the show. And
Thank you.
Thank
One
you.
other thing.
Oh.
With this version, we'll get about 235 miles to one fully charged.
Okay.
And at the charging stations, it's approximately about half hour to 40 minutes charge. It's not a bad trade-off for not
Okay.
paying anything in gas anymore.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Well, good. Thank you. And very
All right.
nice talking to you. And if somebody's looking to purchase a Tesla, is that something you do, or they just have to go to a Tesla dealership?
Actually, just go to the Tesla dealership. Nobody gets any kind of special deals with Tesla.
You're just showing it off because it's a cool
I'm
car,
just letting
huh?
people know exactly this is kind of the whole circle of going green.
Right.
And
if you get a Tesla, they can contact you to get that electronic charging station put in their home.
Put in their home.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.